It's a familiar scene. You're at the dinner table, asking your child to sit still and eat their meal. But instead of calmly finishing their food, they squirm in their chair, bounce their legs, and keep fidgeting. You remind them to sit properly, but it doesn't help. You wonder, why can't they just sit still for a few minutes? You might start to worry. Is this a sign of something bigger? Are they having trouble focusing? It's easy to jump to conclusions and wonder if your child has attention issues. But what if I told you that this constant movement is actually part of your child's development? And no, it's not a sign of ADHD. When children seem unable to sit still, most parents try to correct the behavior quickly. You might tell your child to sit properly or stop moving around in an attempt to encourage them to focus. Sometimes we even resort to bribes. If you sit still for the next 10 minutes, we'll go play outside afterward. Many parents also get frustrated, thinking that their child should just know better by now. You might even worry that their constant movement is a sign that they're not learning or focusing as they should. After all, if they can't sit still for a meal, how can they sit still in school? It's easy to see movement as a problem that needs to be solved, but what's really happening is much more natural and important than we realize. So, why is your child moving so much? The truth is, their constant movement is not a sign of defiance, laziness, or hyperactivity. It's a natural and essential part of brain development. In early childhood, children's brains are still forming critical connections that are necessary for learning, coordination, and focus. Movement plays a key role in this process. The brain develops through physical activity. And when kids move, whether they're fidgeting, running around, or climbing, they are actually helping their brains strengthen connections that support cognitive function and learning. Research shows that physical activity is closely tied to brain development, especially in the first few years of life. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, which enhances the brain's ability to process information, regulate emotions, and improve memory. That's why toddlers and preschoolers often seem like they can't sit still. They're constantly moving to help their brains develop. It's also important to note that young children have a lot of energy to burn. Their bodies are growing and changing rapidly, and movement helps them develop muscles, improve motor skills, and regulate their nervous systems. This need for physical activity is especially true for children ages 1 to 6, whose brains are still in the critical stages of development. Additionally, children at this age haven't yet developed the ability to control their impulses fully, which means that sitting still for long periods of time can be an overwhelming task. Their brains are wired to be constantly active and engaged with their surroundings. Instead of seeing your child's constant movement as a challenge, it's helpful to shift your perspective and recognize it as a normal and healthy part of their development. Here's how you can handle the situation more effectively. Encourage movement during appropriate times. If your child is always wiggling around during meals, consider incorporating more active breaks into your routine. Let them run around for a few minutes before sitting down to eat, or encourage them to get up and stretch if they're feeling restless during family time. This will help them release some energy and feel more settled when it's time to focus. Create opportunities for physical activity. Ensure that your child has plenty of opportunities to move during the day. Plan outdoor activities like walking, climbing, or even dancing that allow them to burn off their energy. This can help them stay calm during times when they need to be still, like during a car ride or in the classroom. Incorporate movement into tasks. If your child is having trouble sitting still during tasks like reading, drawing, or doing homework, try adding small movements into the activity. For example, you might let them stand at a table or use a fidget toy while they work. These movements can help them maintain focus while also giving them the sensory input they need. Set clear and consistent expectations. It's still important to set boundaries and guide your child toward appropriate behavior, but doing so with empathy and understanding is key. You might say, "I know you have a lot of energy, but we need to finish our meal now. After dinner, you can play outside." This gives your child a clear understanding of the expectation while also offering something to look forward to. Be patient and realistic. Don't expect your child to sit still for long periods of time just yet. Give them short periods of stillness, followed by breaks for movement. The goal is not to force them to be still, but to teach them how to balance activity with quiet time as they grow. Real life example. At the dinner table, your child starts wiggling and fidgeting. Instead of getting frustrated, you say, "I can see you have a lot of energy right now. After dinner, we can play outside for a bit. Let's try to eat our food first." You also offer them a little space to move around before meals so that they don't feel constrained during the quieter moments. What should you expect as you try this approach? Day 1. You might still see a lot of fidgeting and restlessness, especially if your child is used to being told to sit still. But by offering more movement throughout the day, they'll start to feel more comfortable during calmer moments. Week 1. By incorporating more physical activity into your child's daily routine, you'll likely notice they are more settled during quieter times. You may even find that they are better able to focus when given the chance to move beforehand. Week 2. As time goes on, your child will become more accustomed to balancing physical activity and stillness. They will start learning to manage their energy levels and self-regulate their movement more effectively. It will take time, and there may be some resistance at first, but with consistent encouragement and patience, you'll begin to see improvements. Children need movement to help their brains grow. Their constant motion is not something that needs to be fixed, but rather something that needs to be understood. Instead of trying to make them sit still, we can support their development by giving them space to move, play, and explore. As parents, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that children should always be calm, quiet, and still. But the truth is, it's their energy and movement that are helping them grow and learn. When we allow them to move freely, we're giving them the best possible foundation for brain development. So the next time your child can't sit still, remember, their movement is not just normal, it's essential. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate your support. If you found this helpful, please take a quick second to like the video and share it with anyone who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this every week. Have a fantastic day.